Now, some of this, and some of this, and some of this, and some of this. Push! Enjoy it.
You got it.
You got it.
818 till I die. Hey, Willie. Haven't done one of those in a while, have you?
No, man.
Hey, Willie.
But it started a trend. It did start a trend because I don't know if you followed it. I don't mind if you didn't.
I remember people trying to.
People were trying to do it, and a lot of people didn't understand what Alf was, so I just morphed it into what impressions do you do?
I remember.
But like you started like a push.
Hey, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
My neighbors have to be wondering, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
You're probably shouting all types of things at all hours of the day and night.
Considering how much fucking video games I play, yeah, I've definitely gotten emails from management being like, your neighbors are complaining about profanities being shouted from your apartment at all sorts of hours. I'm like, they were like, oh yeah, and then and sounds of video games, and I'm like, hold on a second. The only sounds
what the source of that is for.
Whoa, hold on there, buddy. Whoa, hold on there, dude. Whoa, late at night, I have this thing called a headset, so there's no sound they're hearing except for me yelling at teenagers that I shouldn't even be playing with at 2 a.m. So, like, hold on, like, if you're gonna call me out on anything, it's just me being profane towards adolescents in all sorts of random parts of the world on a game that I used to get paid to play. What are you
saying to these adolescents?
Your mom should have swallowed you. I can't believe your father left you because you're so bad at this game. Just things like that. Nothing crazy.
Aren't so bad.
Nothing crazy.
I would expect an email over that.
The best part of you ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. Like nothing crazy.
Right. Those are pretty tame things.
Kids these days.
You're not saying anything too crazy. You know if they hadn't learned so far to not mess with Rene.
This is a parent's problem. If parents only just went out of their way to be like, hey, don't fuck with Rene. Like, look both ways at a crosswalk. Don't spill salt. And don't fuck with Rene. Like, I mean, if you should learn anything, and then maybe teach them how to use chopsticks.
They learn their adolescent.
Fucking kids these days, man. I don't know what to say. This is why I ain't got no children.
I mean, tick it on the very long list of reasons why. Yes. that goes for me too. I need them to be I'm not good at video games, but I need them to be better at it than me.
Fuck you for making me crack on. Son of a bitch. I had a thing going there.
Add it.
Hi, Cory.
Hey, Rene. What's up, buddy?
Long time no see, brother.
Yeah, dude. I'm so excited to hang with you again, man.
This has been a podcast-rich week for me. This is my third in 1 week.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna see if you recognize this. I've had this on my mic arm here for a little while, but it's kind of not visible in the shot. But what's here is I got a little figure attached to this. I don't know. Get it to where you can see it.
Production at its best, by the way, folks. folks. This is what this is why I have my podcast, and it's called Perfectly Misfit, because we don't do anything right.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's why I had my second biggest celebrity on yesterday, and we showed up. Is it a They Live figure?
yeah,
I could. It's barely in focus, but I could tell what it was.
yeah. Like
When the agents.
it's a politician, and it came with this little scene.
Nice. Nice. Of course I know what that is. That has the was it the original transcript for what became the cripple fight on South Park.
Yeah, yeah.
Cripple fight.
Me and my best friend Rick, we like shot for shot like redid that fight scene in an alleyway. I was wearing like a purple sweatshirt like like the bald dude was, and Rick was like in a flannel. Woo!
And he's got a little integrity.
That's so cool, man. You were there at that concert?
Yeah, we went both nights, me and my best friend Ralphie.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah, this sticker was bought in the parking lot.
Rad, dude. That's awesome. Did you watch the Panderverse?
Nope, not yet.
I watched it on
been kind of like burned out for the past like month or two, so like if something like that, I have to make sure I'm of right mindset to like, so I can absorb it. I don't want it to like just like get burned down, like I forget it and have to rewatch it 3 times.
Me and Lou watched it on Twitch, and then I would put it on Rumble of just us watching it. It's basically you're watching it, and it's just me and Lou laughing over it. Like all the stuff that's hilarious, we're laughing.
We should maybe you should invite. Oh my God, are you kidding me with that water jug? Will Sasso.
It's still not even a big deal to me anymore. I started doing it, and you're like, "Are you kidding me?" It's just like my everyday.
I love that so much. Look at that fucking thing. I thought mine is obnoxious. Yours has tactical gear. It's got a Molly system. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. I got a pink one too.
Shut
up. I just got a pink one.
I'm sorry.
I love those things, man.
Oh my God. Where were we? Yeah.
Second Wind Fitness on Amazon. You can get one.
That's just a sleeve for a gallon.
It's just a sleeve for a regular gallon. Yeah.
But it's a literal gallon. It's just to make your gallon look less obnoxious. That's not like really
doing the opposite.
It's not. No, but it's not, and it's not insulating, really.
Well, I mean, it keeps it a little bit colder.
You think so?
Right. It keeps it a little bit colder than if it was just a regular gallon out in the wild.
This is awesome.
We were on the path, and I totally forgot what it was.
We had Chad Kulchin on our podcast. Chad Kulchin from Dudesy. We had him on pre-record yesterday, and that will air on this Wednesday.
I'm excited to hear.
If you're watching this on Cory Kastle Evolving podcast, shit, I should have put on my shirt. I think I actually washed it like yesterday or day before.
Well, if you had, we wouldn't have had all that Brody stuff to play around with in the beginning.
But also, that was like most of that went through the ether because we weren't recording most of that. But anyway, fuck, I keep forgetting where
you were talking about chatting with Chad.
Oh yeah, Chad. We had Chad Kulchin on yesterday. We never pre-record, but Chad Kulchin is a author, writer. He's written scripts that have or specs basically that have since turned into actual films. He is a interesting individual in the aspect of where he uh, coaches people on how to win at The Bachelor.
Yeah,
It's the weirdest fucking thing. Like this guy, he's a and I don't mean this disrespectfully. Like he's just like a very eclectic nerd in that like he just loves random weird shit and like he divulges. He gets into it. He gets into it and he gets into it deep because he develops passions for these weird things and he basically realized that The Bachelor is a game to be won. It's a sport almost. And like uh and so he has people in different seasons of the show where he coaches them on what to do and how to play the production system. Like he realizes production has a job, directors have a job, and so like if you want to get the biggest response out of your time and being on that stupid fucking show, there's a way to win. It's a sport. I'm like, if you don't do these things, like you're just not gonna win, and you're just gonna basically waste your time.
Who's that
But like, end
Australian
up
comedian? Did you see his bit? Oh man,
sorry.
the Australian comedian that can't think of his name at the very moment, escaping me.
There's not many Australian. Is it Eddie Ift?
No. He was on. He had the FX show. He has a whole bit about like men losing hair on the Less special on Netflix. God damn, why can't I think of his name at the very moment? Shoot. People are gonna be yelling at their speakers,
It's
yelling
probably,
at their.
and I have a feeling I know who it is. And he was probably on Opie and Anthony a lot.
Yeah, my brother's a big fan. I can't.
Hold on, I got it. Give me a second.
But he had a bit about The Bachelor, and he said it's basically a reality. It's a game where the prize is a person. He like went into a whole bit about The Bachelor and
Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries, that's the guy. Yes, that's the guy. But
you got it.
You got
it.
Yes.
Yes.
We pushed.
Positive energy. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
My neighbors hate me. Fuck them though. It's almost noon.
I think that there should be a dating show like The Bachelor, but for chefs.
Oh God.
And they're all chefs. Everybody in the house is chefs.
That would have to be on pay-per-view, Corey. Like, because how toxic that fucking show would be.
Oh, I know. That would be what makes it. Because chefs are such dicks to each other.
Oh my God.
And
I need a blowjob. Stat. Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Heard.
Yes, chef.
And we call it.
This blowjob is sloppy. It's sloppy.
That's the way you like it, chef. We'll call it the Spatchler.
Gross. All right. Why are we? We're only 14 minutes in, and this is where we're at. How are we people?
I like it.
I haven't been on this show in like a fucking year. This is where we're at 14 minutes in.
We're already like, all right, let's wrap it up.
Slappy. Hey, sloppy. Aye, nay.
Alyssa might pop in here in a minute,
Oh, sweet.
just to say bye.
Hey Willie, hi Alyssa. Oh my god! Again, there's the gallon. That's he's got literally a gallon of fucking water, people.
No, this is milk.
As you said, this is milk. My dog just like starts nosing my fingers. I was like, whoa, all right, whoa. Oh, that kind of milk.
I like milk. I'm a dog.
Giggity. What's been up, Cory? Any big moves in work and shit, or
I just
still in the same places? I don't want you to.
No, I mean I'm still working at the bar on Wednesdays doing bar backing security.
Okay.
And
it's like the bar restaurant. Is it like a bar restaurant thing we were talking, like a fast food place?
No, well,
you went to somewhere else.
I'm also at Applebee's as a server. Today is actually my first day as a server at Applebee's. It's the moment in time right now. It's a moment in history.
Were you at Chili's before, or
I was at Fridays before?
Friday. Okay, so now you're at Applebee's. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Sweet.
I'm not there no more.
Okay. And this place is looking good.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I mean,
just get that monies.
I'm optimistic about everything.
Hey, it's one thing I know about you. You're always
positive energy.
Positive energy. You got it. Yeah, Brody Stevens, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm wearing this shirt just because it's one of the clean shirts that I had, but I also knew that Cory would know who this was. He was a very famous comedian who was most known for taking the very last shift at the store at like it was like the most difficult shift, meaning like he would have to follow every single famous motherfucker who was there on a Friday or Saturday night in their prime spot. Like everybody came there to see this person, and then like they're gonna leave right afterwards. But Brody Stevens was the guy who, no problem. Everybody's still having to pay their check. He's gonna be up there telling jokes, keeping the energy going, and he was somebody who dealt with depression, bipolar disorder, mania, just all sorts, maybe a little bit of schizophrenia. There's a documentary out there that was actually made by Zach Galifianakis that you can watch. Zach was a very, very good friend of his, and I never got to meet Brody, but I'm wearing the shirt just because we're evolving on this show.
We are.
This is what we do. This is what we do on the show.
Nonstop.
Something I appreciate about the show. And if I felt like anybody would appreciate me wearing this shirt.
And I'm wearing
Sabu.
Sabu
shirt.
What you can't see is I got this like off a third party off of Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's all pixely. It's super pixely. But I like the material, and I like Sabu. I mean, this isn't supporting him because it's definitely third party and it's pixely. Good job, Boner. So, I appreciate very, very much how often I get some of your time and your effort and your energy. I love that, and I love having conversations on the record. And I think the last time we did it or something, I screwed up, and I wanted to on the record kind of like set that apology there if I can, to be like wherever I dismissed something about a beef that you had in regards to Cardi B or something. So I try to like, come on, but like there was more to kind of understand about it, and like people actually like put you through it, and I apologize for minimalizing that. I was
That's
being
been
ignorant.
so far fucking removed now. It's even funnier is come to find out that the guy involved in that situation got canceled by the same people. It was all so dumb, but like you know, I'm a sensitive guy, man. I was raised by only women, and like I was taught to be in touch with my feelings, and you
Same,
know,
same.
being
I was raised by
being
a woman.
just being accused of like being like a chauvinist just for having an opinion over someone, like, and it had nothing to do with their gender. That was the silliest part. It was like, no, I just don't like this entity. I don't like this being because it's misrepresenting everything that I'm from. Like it was like I'm she's from my neighborhood. She's from my nationality. She's
Mhm.
from my culture. It was just like layers and layers of things that I just feel like she is not representing well for what I want my culture to represent to the world.
I I fully
Uh,
relate to that. I
and she
fully
was
relate.
being put up on a pedestal. It's just dumb. It was. I mean, it's all said and done and over with. Like, granted, now I think she has like a fucking character on on Call of Duty or something like that. Like
Is it like a
there's
character that you can like is like there for like cannon fodder?
um
You
sorry, say that again.
just like fodder, you can just like shoot at her or whatever.
No, no, no. It's like it's a character you can choose to play as. It might be Cardi. I don't know. I don't. I'm a Call of Duty player, but I don't choose the female skins to buy.
Uh, I've never played Call of Duty. I'm not good at
Well,
video games. I'm not good at video games. If I play Call of Duty, I would die in like 2 seconds.
well,
And then
that's what happens though. Like that's kind of part of it. No, it's Nicki Minaj. I'm sorry.
okay.
It's Nicki Minaj has a Call of Duty
Potato
skin.
potato.
I will say I liked Nicki a little better just because she wasn't as nasty. Like I still remember the Cardi B challenge on TikTok being like little teenage girls like spewing the most fucking vulgar lyrics at their parents, and like seeing how long it takes until they get their ass whooped. It's like, why is this like why are we doing this to our
Like
children?
yeah, like I think putting out material that's like smut material,
Yeah,
like that like kids learn all the words to
yeah,
all your
yeah.
songs. Like
Dude, it
like
was like TikTok is aimed towards the like preteens and teens, and she just splayed it out. Oh god, I don't want to go down this road again. I'm
what was it?
sorry.
Al Gore's wife went after like Twisted Sister.
Good god.
We got we
And
got
meanwhile, the last time I saw D. Snyder, I was at LaGuardia Airport picking up somebody, and he was getting out of his like Jeep Grand Cherokee, picking up somebody in the same pickup area that I was. I'm like, oh my god, this Satan worshiper. Ah! Oh my god, be careful. Hide your wives, hide your daughters.
but like that stuff was tame compared to like the lyrics on like over like super sexual like lyrics for like kids are knowing all the words to this and like turning them into challenges and stuff. I it kind of hurts my stomach. Like makes me kind of want to throw up.
Yeah, I mean, there was never a people equal shit Slipknot challenge.
Right. You're right.
There's like there was never even like something like as crazy sounding as a wait and bleed challenge. You
Mhm.
know, I feel the darkness open, kneel down in the sun up. Like, but I mean, like, how horrible was being goth or metal in the fucking early 2000s or late 90s compared to Cardi B fans,
Sometimes I was feeling like
Tekashi
a freak on a
69
leash.
fans. Hey, the with the blicky off, nigga say splicky off. Like, I mean,
That's
I
mumblicious.
literally I use that song as a weapon now.
I don't
Like
know what that song is.
Tekashi 69. Eh, I'm not gonna get into in deep to it, but
Is he
like
dead?
if
He dead now, right?
no. He was the guy. He was light skinned Mexican dude who lived in Brooklyn, affiliated himself with the Bloods and then the Crips and then the Bloods, and then he got kidnapped and then got thrown into prison because of some like crazy shit. Came out because he snitched on everybody, but meanwhile still continues to rap. That's the end of that story.
Tekashi Snitch
6 9.
9.
Yeah. Yes. That, yes. Good job, buddy. Wait. um, yeah, that was it's an interesting story, but yeah, like I now use his music as a weapon to get people I don't like out of the bar that I'm in. If like heaven forbid the jukebox is like connected to the internet and I can play shit from my phone, I if I don't like the company I'm in, and I realize, oh, you're a little racist, aren't you? I'm like, I'm going to play, or like I'll play like do you know who Body Count is?
No.
That's Ice-T.
Okay.
It was his like he had a metal band.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, he has there's a song called "There Goes the Neighborhood" that's available on most jukeboxes, and like only if you know that it's there. But like yeah, that song makes people of a certain complexity feel very uncomfortable. I'm talking literally the chorus is "There goes the neighborhood." There goes the neighborhood. Like it's fucking yeah. And you can imagine what fills in the gaps in between.
I'm adding it to my Spotify right now so I can listen to it as soon as this.
Dude, Body Count. Listen to all of Body Count. Also add an Hank the Third Punch Fight Fuck, which is a Gigi Allen cover song.
Oh
yeah, dude. That is Hank Williams' great grandson. I got to see him on St. Patrick's Day about 2010 or so 13 years ago. And then like my dumbass forgot to bring some pot with me, and I was like, fuck, I really wish I had some weed. So one of my buddies was like, just here when I smoke a cigarette, uh, just a little satiate you until you get home. And I'm outside smoking this stogie, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and somebody asked me for a light, and it's fucking Norman Reedus from
Whoa,
Boondocks.
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, from fucking Boondock Saints. And I was like,
Boondock Saints.
I'm like, I'll give you a light, but can I get a selfie? And he was like, yeah, sure. We take a selfie, and he fucking puts up a middle finger. And I was like, that's what we're doing? Sweet. And like in the picture, you see my cigarette is lit because I'm like, I have the phone and I've got the cigarette in one hand, and his cigarette's not lit because he's waiting for me to give him a light. It's even funnier was like that was like year 1 or 2 of Walking Dead. So everybody else around me was like, "Hey, I love you on that show." And I'm like, "What show? This is one of the brothers from fucking Boondock Saints. What the fuck are you idiots talking about?" I hadn't watched fucking Walking Dead because it was gay.
I love the Boondock Saints. When
I mean, number 2 is like I have to watch it when I'm like in a certain state of mind. But number 1, like the fucking Boondock Saints original, I can watch that almost anytime. If it's on TV, I'm bored, I don't know what else to watch, I just want to watch something, I'll throw that motherfucker on.
I don't remember it being on. I've never seen it on TV. I've never come across it while channel surfing.
I feel like I might have seen it on Cinemax, maybe BET. I mean, I could be full of shit though. That's a real possibility.
There's a thing that I say. I kind of got it from Boondock Saints, and I kind of got it from like what old timer wrestlers used to say to fans when they would come to shows. Say, "Thanks for coming out." Thanks for coming out. I say that all the time.
Like, it's me as a bartender. One of my favorite things to do is take people's keys from them, like, because like they leave them on the bar, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here," and I steal their keys, and I'm like, "Where you going?
You go
Nowhere, nowhere." I mean, like, if you're speaking to your viewers, like, if you've never seen Boondock Saints, you have no idea what the fuck you're missing. It is the craziest East Coast Boston crime movie next to like fucking what's DiCaprio, Departed. I mean, like, and then add on top of that what The Town. Like, but the madness levels to this, there's Russian mafia, there's fucking Italians trying to be Russians, there's fucking hardcore Southie, just wop fucking Irish fucking gangsters. It's nuts. It's there's transsexual fucking aspects of the movie. I'm trying not to spoil anything. Like,
there might be the N-word somewhere in there.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, remember that when he was making Rocco tell him a joke?
Oh yeah. Oh,
They tell me what a crack up you are.
why don't you make like a tree and get the fuck out of here?
They wound up, and this I'll bleep this, but when he says,
say it, send it,
you insignificant little fuck.
Cunt little fuck. Fucking love that movie. Yeah, I remember watching that shit on VHS originally, I believe.
that was one of those things where like you had to like it was like Blockbuster exclusive, right? Like you could only rent it from Blockbuster when it first came out, right?
I didn't grow up around a Blockbuster. I never saw it on Blockbuster. We just had it on VHS.
Yeah,
It might have been after the fact.
Yeah, through bootlegs. I think that's how I saw it. The way I saw it was somebody rented it from Blockbuster, made a dub copy of it, and that's how I got it. I watched it on that.
Yeah, I remember the dude who introduced me to it, but I don't remember how he got it. I mean, you're right though. So I grew up right next to Yankee Stadium, and on the other side of there's like a main avenue called Grand Concourse, and Yankee Stadium is on this side. But meanwhile, on the other side of Grand Concourse, Grand Concourse is kind of up on a hill, and then on the downside is Yankee Stadium has there, and then the Bronx River. And on the other side of my building, there was a strip mall and had a movie theater. and outside the movie theater in the fucking 90s, fucking bootleggers used to.
I was gonna say mad bootleg.
Dude,
right near Yankee Stadium, I can only imagine nothing but bootleg tapes of everything.
Yeah, that like VHSs and fucking cassette tapes. You know, like any mixtapes, any fucking new albums coming out. But also, like the next big thing was kung fu movies, bro. That's how I got to see all my Shaolin movies, and also near where I went to elementary school in Fordham Road. Now I got to see everything bootleg, man. $3, $5 tops. It's like to own it.
I think I saw Home Alone 2 for the first time on bootleg, and I think I saw Space Jam for the first time on bootleg as well.
Same on the same block. They used to have this thing back in the day where it was like big backdrops of whatever movie was popular or famous that week, and people would like do the airbrushing, and then you'd basically get like a high quality Polaroid. Like it'd be like you and your girl like doing the fucking prom pose or whatever in front of the fucking backdrop of whatever stupid movie you wanted to see that weekend.
Oh man.
Charge you fucking $5 or $20. I don't know.
For a Polaroid.
Yeah. I mean, it was like it was like nice. God. People were like, "Why'd you leave New York City?" I'm like, I don't need to live around that anymore, man. Good job, owner.
This is my mug is I think this is Everstory Stonemore. It was I started the year working in the cemetery business, right? So I don't think you and I have even talked about
that. I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
I didn't know that, but thanks for sharing.
I don't want to live my life again.
Yeah, because sometimes dead is better.
Better red than dead.
Sometimes dead is better. There's a lot of history down that road.
Sorry, you were saying.
But yeah, that was the company mugs that I got when I worked in the cemetery business. But I like the mugs. They don't say anything like "Good job, boner" on them, but it's got leaves.
You got it.
And that's why. That's how I felt about the cemetery business. I had to leave it. I had to leave it behind because it was not a feel good time. It was like surrounded by death every gosh dang day, and
no way.
It's crying people, sad people all the time, and then you gotta kind of take advantage of these people in their times, like for money. And I felt like bad, like I'm profiting off of death and loss. I didn't feel like karmatically like it was something that would like fulfill me, and I just had to step away.
All right. I mean,
but yes, that's I left Fridays to do that, and I was not doing well with it. I guess like they did like this whole, oh well, it's going to be training pay for 2 months, and then your only commission. So basically, like your only money is coming in from upselling these people on like higher priced, like cemetery like plots of land and stones and caskets and urns, and like upselling them on that stuff. Look, oh, you care about your kids, don't you? Like that. You don't want your kids to have to pay. You don't want them to have to. You can pay this much now versus what they'd pay if you didn't pay this much now. I just it felt too
gross.
Yuck and gross.
Yeah. Just by your description, I get it.
Mm-hmm. And I keep talking about this all the time, but like I worked in the cemetery every day for 3 months, and I would be there late at night all the time, and I never heard a ghost story. I never saw ghosts. I like it just it was not I just kind of don't believe in that kind of stuff. Like somehow
No,
it's
you don't have
just
to.
like it's I can't. The funny part was I was like, a lot of people who worked there had been there for a bunch of years, and I had never heard anyone say that they had seen anything or saw anything. So seen or saw, they hadn't seen anything or saw anything. Silly.
Ain't done saw nothing.
Ain't done saw nothing. But then I was like, well, I was the new guy. They weren't gonna be like, hey, welcome to the cemetery. Want to hear a ghost story?
I mean, did I ever tell you the story about like when I went to the Stanley Hotel for a private ghost tour?
No.
You know what the Stanley Hotel is?
I have no idea what the Stanley Hotel is.
That's the hotel that Stephen King stayed in that inspired him to write The Shining.
Oh, okay.
It's not the one that was filmed in, but it was like the actual hotel where Stephen King spent a night and
Was inspired to write The Shining.
Yeah, like he got like he knew the owners of the hotel. He was the only fucking guest, so he had the place to himself. And like, in one night, he had a nightmare so bad, he wrote The Shining in one night.
He had the nightmare while staying at the hotel.
Yeah, like he was. I think he was like snowed in, because like where Estes Park is where that hotel is. It's you have to go through a gulch to like to get out of that town. It's a super awesome, cute town. But if you're going there, you're there. Like if there's a lot of if there's a bad storm, you're there. But yeah, so basically, it was the thing where he knew the owner. He asked if he could stay there. So he was the only person there, and his experience that one night was so fucking crazy. It inspired him to write The Shining. It's kind of cool. Was also this is the same hotel where if you ever saw Dumb and Dumber, that fancy hotel where they come in with the crazy fucking tuxedos and shit like that. That's the hotel. Jim Carrey's.
Here you go. Here you
go. Jim Carrey.
I could talk about Dumb and Dumber all day.
Well, okay. Well, give you a little inside baseball. Jim Carrey stayed at that same hotel, and the first night that he stayed there, he hated it so much. I love it. He hated it so much that at 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, he checked out and never fucking stepped back in there again. And we'll never talk about it. Like you can look it up on YouTube. You can find videos of him talking about like if anybody ever brings up the topic of his stay at the Stanley Hotel, they won't fucking talk about it. He's like either we're moving on or I'm leaving this conversation. But anyway, I digress. When I went to
somebody stop me from this topic.
When I went to the Stanley, that was the thing that I hated was like it's supposed to be this like real creepy hotel, and like me and some fucking friends, like we booked a private ghost tour. Like it's just us and the tour guide. Like you can get like a just a general group tour. You can like just like walk around, like go to the bar or whatever. But like we got a private shit, and like it felt so fake. Like the tour guide was like, and if you look down this hallway and look on my phone and see in this picture, there's a face back there. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And I'm like, but then after like 2 or 3 of those, I go, hey man, did you take any of these pictures? And he's like, well, no, but like, other people who work here. We're moving on. It just it took everything out for me.
What a crappy tour guide. Like couldn't you lie? Couldn't you lie?
He could have.
Like, yeah,
but
I took these photos. It was creeped out, man. Creeped out.
I mean, because we go to a basement room, and like the light bulb in the corner is a red light bulb, and there's a cutout of like the twins from The Shining, where you can like put your face into the cutout. I'm like, all right, guys, what are we dropped like $500 for the 10 of us. You know, like, come on, what are we doing here? And it's only like a 1 hour tour.
That's just as bad as getting your Polaroid pictures for $20 at the backdrops of those movies.
It's like, what? Like, why don't we just get the Jaws shark upside down? I'll put my face through his mouth. What the fuck are we doing here?
There's a pet cemetery tour.
Oh, dude, or like me being the fucking on the back of the bicycle on ET with
ET on the basket.
Yeah, like basket. me is ET in the Elliot. Hey, Willie.
I was gonna say we're like eating a cat as Alf.
Hey, Willie.
You still do it better than anybody else has ever done it.
And what's even funnier is like I had no idea I had that impression, so you reminded me of it.
Well, that was I think my first like YouTube copyright strike.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that episode. We did that twice too.
When we tried to watch Alf episode 2, we're like, well, it had to get picked up after episode 1, so we want to see what they followed up with that. The sophomore attempt at the makers of Alf.
Hopefully my impression is so good we get copy stricken again.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed. All my greatest desires have been to be demonetized on YouTube. I have to be monetized first for them to take it away.
Yeah. People are like, whoa, you do a podcast? I'm like, hold on a second. What I really do is pay for my own therapy. I do a show that 12 people watch a week. I was gonna say a year.
12 people a year. One person every month.
One a month. No. I'm like, on my best show was fucking Duck Coil from God Forbid or Bad Wolves. I think we had like 750 views.
Wow. Yeah. That's
on this show. My other best show, which I won't talk about, a wrestling or what do you call it? A fight podcast. Yeah, I got tens of thousands of views because of my antics. But if only it can translate to this. Yeah, I just don't want to play.
It's not my fault you can't understand me. You got to learn how to understand me. I'm not changing anything about who I am.
Tell him, Cory.
Yeah.
That's why I started my podcast, the Perfectly Misfit Podcast, every Wednesday on Facebook and YouTube. Shoot me a follow.
Shoot him a follow.
It's a good show.
The link in the
Cory and Dan, my co-host, are like bosom buddies. Fiki.
You know, man, that it's really cool. Like how you can like stumble across somebody accidentally and become friends like we have. I love that.
Dude, that is kind of funny how you and I became friends.
Yeah, and it was just like, was it kind of during lockdown? Was lockdown a thing?
Yeah, it was during lockdown when you were on The Thing Is. Oh, god damn it, my dog. Lobo. Sorry. Can you hear me? You can still hear me.
I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll kick
Do
down my
you, do you know how to change your thumbnail image? Let's.
Probably. Give me a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the bad one. Anyway, but yeah, no, that's how we met. Was thing is.
Hang on, look, I could do this. Like, see how I have a little thumbnail image? There, it shows a little pic of me when I have the camera off. Like when you click the 3 dots at the bottom, it says edit audio avatar, and then you can change the thumbnail image there. This is incredibly uninteresting to anyone who's just listening to the audio. We're playing around with the settings on the stream.
Just keep talking. I'll
yeah,
figure this out. Give me a second.
Ridiculously uninteresting. But yeah, so I was a guest on a show called The Thing Is, and
Ding.
What's that? Ding.
Ding.
And Rene was there. Like
I was in the audience of that show.
Yeah, they had the audience just hanging out in the Zoom because you know, everybody was doing that because
that was the thing at the time. It was fucking awesome. It was a perfect time. I wish she actually still kept doing it now.
She doesn't do it anymore?
No, not that I've seen.
They still do the show though, right?
Yeah. She does the show. I mean, this is kind of why I was saying it. She had Joanna Angel on the show this week or last week. I was like, I would have loved to have been in the audience for that.
I don't know what that person is.
Yeah, cool. Moving on.
I don't know what that person is.
I don't know what a person is.
But yeah, so we just met in the and basically like I guess all the audience members were still there.
Yeah.
And I just hung with you guys, and I don't see it as like you already got my time. You already got my interview time. You already got me as a guest. I'm like, I'm here, and we're all not going anywhere.
Yeah, that was nuts how that just happened. Where what else were we? What were we gonna do? Right? Like we're all just stuck in the house. So like if we discontinue, like if we end this interaction, there's no more interactions for the day until like your next planned interaction. Like that fucking sucked. And that's not, it's kind of nuts to think about it. That was 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago at this point. Like
nuts.
Fuck. That shit sucked all around. And I was glad to have met people like you, bro. I mean, like that little circle that I was already in before I met you, which is the circle that led to how I met you. I was glad to have them, but you're the one who's survived our friendship for the past 2.5 years.
Well, I mean, all I've done was just want to like continue laughing together and having a fun time and enjoying each other's company and enjoying each other's content. I think that's kind of like when it came to the lockdown. I think the some of the most important things that I don't talk about or think about enough was like the fact that like I got to be connected with people who I wouldn't have otherwise ever been connected with. And then I made good friends out of you and good friends out of Dan. And you just connected me to Dan when I guess you had just started Perfectly Misfit at that point. And then all of it sort of in a divine timing type of way.
Seriously, like the vibes were right there. and yeah, happenstance or fate or whatever you want to call it,
I
lined us up.
constantly say like some of my best friends I've met, some of like the closest people I'm with, like some of the people I've been the most vulnerable with, and like people like that I can actually relate to are people I've never actually met in real life. And
Yeah.
that cracks me up.
So yeah, I was gonna say, for people who don't know, Cory and I have never met in person.
Right. Yeah.
We're
Like,
like we've been friends for two years now.
yeah.
we and even funnier now that you took your glasses off, you remind me of my buddy Ryan, one of my barback buddies from Brooklyn. Holy shit! I mean, he's nowhere near wrestling quality, but still. But yeah, um,
I remind
yeah,
everybody of somebody when
yeah,
like
that's fair.
I'm
Same
like,
here,
up,
dude.
I'll take it.
When I was in the army, I got Vin Diesel. When I got out of the army, I kept getting called, which I hated. It was Tito Ortiz. Like yeah, I get like I hate the random. I mean, when I was a baby, this little bullshit right here, where I have
Mhm.
no hair, but like this little, I used to be called Sweet Pea, which was like
Okay.
the
Yeah, like
baby
from the
from fucking
Munchkins.
Popeye. Like, ugh,
Oh, from Popeye. Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Um, I mean, you do look like somebody who would be a fighter, though. Like, I think I thought that was like my first impression. I was like, this guy probably fights. Like,
It's my least. It's my least favorite thing about me because I mean, like, yeah, I was in the army for a bunch of years, but like, I don't
like
want that to be my like identifying quality. You know,
I could see, I could totally see one of those ears being cauliflowered, and and I've never noticed it. And
and
then you like turn around and look at it, and it's got a big old swell on it. And I'm like, yep, not surprised.
what's even funnier is like I did wrestle and I wrestled in high school, and before high school I played roller hockey. Um, but yeah, and
Those are
freshman year,
fighter people.
yeah, a freshman year of high school, I played a little bit of football, but never got cauliflowered. I was always mom always, gave me the extra money to fucking get the good headgear so I don't get my shit fucked up as a kid. 'Cause I was supposed to be a fucking politician.
You were supposed to be a politician.
Well, that's what my mom is. So, like, I
Yeah,
was
your
supposed to.
mom's a politician.
My mom worked for the White House, brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom is the director for the SBA of the entire Eastern Seaboard and the entire Virgin Islands. Um, yeah, in the Caribbean, basically. Yeah, I am the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, I'm like, you're out here, drinking and smoking pot on your podcast on a weekly basis, and
It's legal.
that's not. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's fully legal now, but like, I think if any politician was coming from a history of like that's the kind of stuff I do, and like, just sort of being offensive in a very fun way. That's not something that's not very political of you.
No, and it's not never going to be.
Never going to be.
I mean, I did my army time. Like that's,
Mhm.
I did my part there, but I will never be that much of a corporate shill, slave, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't know, man.
So, Rene, what have you never been asked on a podcast that you'd wish you had been asked?
Ooh, that's a toughie. Don't know. What have I never been asked that I wish I had been asked? It's like isn't that a double negative? Like, it's how it seems like Another version of that question would be, how obnoxious of a question would you like to ever hear ever?
Hey, would you mind me being annoying for a second? So what all the podcasts you've been on, all the podcasts that you've hosted.
Okay.
Anytime you've been interviewed, anyone's ever not asked you a question that you thought maybe you'd want to share with the world, this answer to this question, what type of question would that be?
Why do I like podcasting so much?
Rene, Encarnacion, why do you like podcasting so much?
I feel like it's like a James Lipton moment. If God were to approach you at the gate and ask you, Rene, why do you like podcasting so much? It's because it's the easiest way to express myself.
I mean, you kind of said earlier that it's therapy. You know, that it's therapeutic.
It is therapy. It's the only way I feel I can get myself out there and just.
I think everybody wants to be heard and understood. Hang on one second.
I was about to do something really dumb. No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
So now I am joined by both members of the Perfectly Misfit podcast, Dan Webb and Rene. And these guys, two people I've never met in person, but I could say very, very close and glad to have in my life.
Yeah, it's only been almost 3 years, man, and
I was talking about that.
It's funny because like I know Rene. I served with Rene. I love Rene. He's my brother from another mother. But I almost put you in that exact same category. I fucking love the hell out of you, Cory Kastle. You're such a great dude, easiest person in the world to talk to, and a really really good friend.
I think,
and understanding of like a great friend. Like I've gone through a bunch of shit in the last 2 years, and like we haven't talked as much because my life just went to fucking shit for a while, and now like we're back to it. So now we're talking a lot more, messaging and shit each other all the time. Again, lots of TikToks and reels back and forth, and all the fun stuff about friendship that we both enjoy.
Friendship.
I think.
I mean, life can go screwy sometimes, man. It can go a little sideways, but I don't.
Hey Dan.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we should aim for organizing a big trip for that thing we learned about yesterday.
Oh yeah, yes. We can't talk
Cory,
about it until
Cory, you
Wednesday.
ever been to Chicago?
I have, yeah. I have been to Chicago.
I've never been, but I guess Dan's been as well.
I go a bunch, over 100 times.
Let's we got to talk about a trip to Chicago. And I'm sorry, I'm biting my tongue right now. Biting my lip.
Have you ever heard me tell the story of when I got flown to Chicago to be a guest on Jerry Springer?
No, I don't think you've ever told us about this. Now I have to fucking hear this.
One of the hosts of one of my other podcasts that I used to do did fucking Jerry Springer. I would love to hear your fucking Jerry Springer story, please.
So, I was dating somebody who was in the wrestling business, so her and I lived together.
Was it Lita?
Yeah, it was Lita.
Tessa Blanchard.
So they, I guess
Paige?
some other some other wrestlers had said like they needed a female for their story, because like they just make up a story and then you take it to the producers of Jerry Springer at that time, and they needed a female for their story, and they were like, okay, the producers is gonna call you. They're like smartened up to the work of it, but like sell it to them like it's real, right? So then the producer was like, hey, how do you know Drake and Sammy? How do you know those guys? And she's like, well, we're all wrestlers. Like, we're all pro wrestlers. And this is like, that's how I met them, through the wrestling business. And they asked me if I wanted to be a part of their story from Jerry Springer. And the producer was like, I think the producer was like, all right, who are you? Like, what's going on here? And then the producer was like, who do you date? And then she started talking about me, and then the producer was like, just let me talk to him. So I got on the phone with the producer, and she was like, tell me a story. And I just made up a story of about how like her and I got together because like some other girl was we were together and she was becoming a psycho, and I kind of wanted to like move on in a quick way. And then that psycho girl stole my dog from my yard, and we like made it a whole dramatic story. And they were like, okay, yeah, well, just get that girl to be a part of it, and really meant like find us another person who's going to participate in your story. So I got my friend Liz, and the three of us went to Chicago, and they put us in wardrobe. They like put us in separate green rooms, and like there's like holding and like all this food, and like they fed us. They took us. They got us from the airport in a limo and brought us to the Hilton. Like all this like real cool stuff. It was like a free vacation.
Nice.
And then we got to the studio, and they like made us sign all these NDAs and stuff, but I'm disclosing it all right now. Whatever. It's a work. Everybody.
It's been enough time. I don't even think that show's on the air anymore.
Fucking football, baby.
Jerry Springer's dead, right?
I don't think so.
I think he did. No, I think he did die.
No, he did die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So I took it to his grave. But then the producers were like, they're like, so Liz is gonna come out and she's gonna say this, and then Gabby's gonna say this. What are you gonna say when she says that? And I was like, well, I'll say this. And they're like, oh, that's a good thing to say. And like that's kind of how they like do the scripting of it. They're just like, so
Jerry,
what would you say?
Jerry.
What would you say or do if she were to say or do that? And then, oh, I would say or do this. Oh, that's good. And then they decided they were going to put our story on as the final story for that night, for that taping. And the story before us was like this huge lady. This lady was like 7 feet tall. And then like she started Andre the Gianting the dudes in her story. Like it started awesome. Like this big brawl, and like it took a while to pull any of that apart. And like they were like, the security guys are going to try to stop you. They're not really trying to stop you.
Right.
They're going to stop you.
They're like, right. You can throw punches, but they're really slaps. Just do slaps. Don't do punches. Don't throw punches. Right.
That's a working punch.
Yeah, that's a working punch, brother.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'll tell you something about that, dude.
You know, I've been talking like that for years. like way before dudes.
Well, let me tell you something about a work there, brother.
I've been saying that stuff for years and years. But then I guess that story, the story that was before us, went too long, and they didn't want to do any more taping for the day. So they were like, oh, well, we'll just gather all your info and we'll bring you guys back. Mm-hmm. And we got all the perks of doing Jerry Springer. They paid us. They flew us. They fed us. They clothed us. And I was like, I'm not coming back to this. I didn't have to be on Jerry Springer. And I got so then they called us to come back, and I didn't answer.
No, nice. You know, Darby Allin was on Jerry Springer.
That's not surprising.
Yep, Darby Allin was on Jerry Springer. I think Moxley was on Jerry Springer as well. But
Moxley
I know
was
for
part of the crew that he was part of the crew of guys who like got us hooked up with it.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah. Because it was Drake and Sammy Callahan. Drake.
Oh, okay.
So Moxley was in that crew of dudes. And
he's part of the hardcore wrestling scene, and those two guys were too. Well, Sammy, Drake not so much, but
Drake, he was a deathmatch worker.
So Dan,
was he?
So Dan, how was how was your Veterans Day?
Wait, let me get comfortable.
All right. It was the whole day was great. Like Rene and I played zombies all day.
All day.
All day. Until 7 o'clock.
The rest of your Veterans Day.
I went to my favorite shithole in the wall bar that's just down the street. And they were giving out veteran hats to all the veterans.
No way.
And then they happened to give one to this young kid who for sure was not in the military yet. And I happened to just call him out on it. I'm like, all right, buddy, you're doing, I was really nice the first time. Okay. I was like, hey man, I know you're not a veteran. This, I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but this hat.
Cory just walked off.
He's like, oh, fuck. I know this doesn't mean anything to you by wearing this hat, but it means a lot to me because I earned this fucking hat, and so did all of my friends. And he was like, it's just a hat. And I'm like, it's not just a hat. Like, you fucking earned this shit. You earned the right to be called a veteran. So you need to take that hat off. And his dad was sitting with him. And he goes, it's just a hat. Take it off. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. And I turn around, go back to my seat. And I'm sitting there. I'm drinking. And then I happen to have to go to the bathroom. So I get up and go to the bathroom. I notice now the mom is wearing the hat instead of the kid. And I've had a couple. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't buzzed, but I had a couple of beers. So that liquid courage and that asshole in me a little bit now is way able to get out, especially when it's something. Two things: stolen valor and racism. Those are my two triggers. I'll fucking kill people over it. So I come back from the bathroom and I see her wearing it. I said, I know you might be a veteran, a sucking cock, but you're not a fucking veteran. You need to take this fucking hat off. Fuck you and fuck your whole table. And I went back to my drinking and my good time, having a great time with all the patrons there. A lot of them are veterans that I know are veterans. And like, that's why I go there. And great time. And then all of a sudden, like, they leave and they said something. I can't even remember what it was, but it was like a pop off, like, fuck you kind of. And they're all wearing the hats. And they said it real quick because they were leaving. And I fucking jumped out of my fucking seat. And I went and I fucking knife hand him. And like, I got the knife hand out. And then the dad fucking grabbed me by the throat, which is cool. And then I grab him by the throat. I pop him. I was there with my ex. And she's out right after me. And then the whole rest of the bar is out after us. And he grabs her by the throat. She had like marks. She made a TikTok video. You can clearly see his handprint around her throat. And I got one punch. I got to throw one punch. That was it. And I kept trying to punch. And all my friends are grabbing me by my arm. So I can't fucking punch. But also leaving me completely defenseless. Besides me having my hand around this guy's throat. And now I'm squeezing the fuck out of it. because I want to rip his goddamn throat out because he just punched my ex-girlfriend in the face. And his son comes up and throws a punch and hits Nicole again. He was trying to hit me, but fucking one of my friends pulled me back a little bit, and it just pulled me back far enough that he punched Nicole. It was like a bitch punch though. So like she didn't even flinch, didn't move at all. Like
so Dan,
what?
Dan, happy Veterans Day.
Happy fucking Veterans Day. So it was like a good 10-minute scuffle, but with only one real punch thrown.
We're at minute 8, and I just figured we don't want to waste 2 more minutes.
Yeah, no, that was it was. I got into my first bar fight in fucking 15 years. Is it 25? 20 years.
All I'm gonna ask is, when you left the bar, did you not say Roadhouse?
No, when I left the bar, I said, "Happy Veterans Day, all you motherfuckers," and then we left. But it was at closing. It was a good time. It really was up until that point, and then it really was again as soon as they left, and then we went back to having like a great fucking night. I got free beers from everybody. Nicole got free drinks from a bunch of people. I didn't fucking drink half of them because I was not trying to get shit faced.
Nicole's video is pretty fucking fun. Cory, what did you do last night?
I worked. Wait.
I was gonna say bring the Reens back in on this.
I went to hang out. I went and hung out at Rick's house, and played. My best friend Rick. We just played games. We played board games with his girl. And Alyssa had a gig and she was gonna meet us there, but like it went too late. And so we were supposed to have a board night. What's up?
Is Alyssa still around?
No, she just came in to say bye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's too bad. That would have been nice to have her on.
Yappers.
Just hi and bye. But yeah, she didn't get to make it to Rick's house, but I played board games with Rick and his girlfriend.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. Fun time.
What board game did you spend the most time on?
It wasn't. It was a card game. I guess the one was like it was like the words were like jumbled in a weird way, and you had to kind of guess what the phrase was. It was like Incoherent, I think it was called.
I played a game like that. I can't remember. I'm at the same point where I'm like, fuck, I can't remember the name of it, but I played it. And it's super fun.
I think we were gonna start playing Cards Against Humanity, but then we started watching YouTube videos.
That happens.
And bro, Cards Against Humanity is like one of the best, like with all your boys and like your big friend group. That's like the best game to play because you try to offend everyone as much as possible. And anytime the card that gets played, the biggest, blackest dick, that one automatically wins. So always wins. And yeah.
It looked like that cat came out of Rene's frame right into
No, it did.
Yeah. Nope. My bookshelf. I had to. So we we did something yesterday, and I realized if I do it in the day, the light comes in too much. So I had to change locations, and yeah. So
I was wondering if you were going to figure that out yesterday.
Yeah. I knew right when I went in and saw it, and I was like, "Fuck me!" But it was too late to change. So
good job, bud.
Good job, Boner.
Yep. Good job, Boner.
What did how much did you catch of I know that there was like conflicting timing wise on the Chad Kulchin.
No, there's no conflicting. Sorry, let me shut up.
There was no conflicting. It was
did you miss it completely?
Super late. I missed like 2 minutes. It's not a big. It was a big deal. I was 11 minutes late, but they didn't start until a minute before I joined. So
Was it fun?
It was fucking great. It was a great podcast. It was so much fun. And I'm still fucking giddy as fuck about it. I don't know about you, Rene. Like, it was such a high at the end. Like, he's such a great guest. So easy.
Do you remember me saying on their YouTube comments about how they should be guests on your guys' podcast?
Absolutely, bro.
So
did you ever submit an email to him?
I did. Yeah, I did.
So you're coming up. He's doing them all. Like,
he will do it.
Yeah, it'll be sometime, but it will be a while.
No, it's even better, actually, because I'm pretty sure Cory submitted around the same time we did.
So yeah, so it should be pretty soon.
Yeah, so when he does your show, you can be like, "Hey, you know my guys from this other show." And he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know Dan."
Yeah, Rene. And they forced me. They sat me down and forced me to watch Dudesy.
Yeah, that's what I can say. I was tied to a chair.
Yeah,
I was tied to a chair.
Literally, you should say that shit. I'm not even kidding, because that's what he says to get people to watch the podcast. He's like, fucking forcibly tie them down and watch that.
It'd be even funnier if you had us all in the background anyway, and like we were all on the show as well.
He's in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dan, you missed it. We were talking about how there should be like a bachelor for chefs.
A bachelor for chefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like Hell's Kitchen, but bachelor style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like that.
But can Gordon Ramsay be the host and still call everybody cunt?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, look at that blowjob. It's sloppy.
There's a little bit. There's too much drool on this. You didn't face fucker hard enough. It's still raw.
All right. I was thinking the name can be the Spatchler.
Would you fuck your mom in the ass like this?
I told you to grab a thong, not tongs. I like it when I make myself laugh really hard. Oh, I choked on my vape. Yay!
Yeah. The last few there's been some weird stuff in the last few years, guys. I know like Rene got up a pup. He's up a pup now. You acquired a new puppy since the last.
Have you not met the new dog?
I've only seen him on your show. I've only seen him when I've tuned in to Perfectly Misfit.
Bubba's here. Come here. Come on. Up. Come here, Bubba. Yep. He's like, yeah, he's here. He's big. He's 113 pounds.
That's a big ass dog.
Come here, Bubba.
It's a big fucking dog.
He's like, what? You want to rub my belly?
I think I might have sent the tweet. Whoa, that's a big head.
You're like, yeah, Rene looks like a fighter, and then he's like, look at his fucking dog's giant head. It almost covers my entire chest.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down 3 dogs since the last time we've had a podcast. 2 of them passed away, and one I made the ex take when she left because I didn't like it. the big fuck, what was she? Great Dane. The Great Dane. I hated that dog. I just absolutely hated that dog.
Why?
And so fucking dumb. So goddamn dumb. Yeah. And it destroyed everything. Like literally destroyed everything. Like I have holes in my wall in the house now from her. And she, like, if she was in the house alone, even with the other dogs, if she was in the house alone, she would destroy everything. She ate the drywall out in my dining room. She ripped apart 2 of my couches, like, completely.
That's not very great. That's not very great.
No, she was not a great Dane. She was a
not
shit
a very
Dane.
great Dane. You got to make Danes great again.
Yeah. And she was like 135 pounds. She was a big ass dog. And then if she didn't want to do something, I'm gonna
tell you, the Danes, they're the best Danes. They're not mediocre Danes. They're great Danes. They're the greatest of Danes. We have the best Danes in the world.
So now I've only got the 2 dogs, but I added 3 fucking cats. And
oh, Cory, you should have seen the fucking spectacle that his fucking kitten put on during the fucking episode we recorded yesterday.
Dude, the kitten went fucking ape. Like, the kitten absolutely loves me. That was the cat that walked across here.
Yeah, that's fine, but holy shit, like, this cat knew we had a fucking celebrity on the show.
Absolutely, and did everything he could to interrupt the show. And it was in the cutest possible way, right?
Great.
But he sabotaged a lot of the podcast, and like for the rest of it, I had to like fight him. Like I had to keep pushing his ass away, and all like the rest of the fucking podcast. And I was like, God damn it! And Chad was laughing his ass off the whole time.
It was like, was it Spaceballs, where the fucking the alien came out of the chest, was like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right arm." It was just so obnoxious, but in the cutest fucking way ever.
Dude, it was bad.
This cat treated Dan like not even just a scratching post. It was like
the guy was his cat tree.
Yeah,
you know, like house. He was just all fucking over me.
You were his house.
Yeah.
That was it.
So, and that cat likes to sleep.
Listen into any other people's podcasts that Chad's been guests on?
No, I have not. And I did that actually on purpose because I wanted to have that excitement and try to figure out like who he really was. And that guy, he's the same guy as he is on Dudesy. And it's fucking fantastic. Like he couldn't have, like I said, you could not have had a better guest.
Yeah, we started the episode with a very like kind of like a deep cut inside joke. I asked him a question. Like I introduced I introduced the show as we normally do, and I listed off a bunch of his accreditations, and it was like, all right, one thing we want to know is this, and he immediately got the joke. It was like a deep cut joke, just to like a perfect icebreaker. Yeah, in my opinion, it was the perfect way to just be like, hey, you have no idea what you're coming into, but just so you know, we're friends.
We're fans and friends.
And Dandy, what do you think? It was a good one, huh?
It was the best way to start the podcast by far. And it's not like it's a running joke for them, but it's been a running joke for us for a long fucking time. We haven't done it in maybe like 4 or 5 pods, but because we don't want to wear it completely out yet. But it's going to be it's a continued joke that they did, and now we're doing it because we're such big fans and we fucking love them so much. And he fucking got it right away. He's so fucking fun with it too.
That's awesome. It's cool. Like I the only comparison I can make, like I used to listen to Taz's podcast, the Taz Show, and it wasn't a podcast as much as it was kind of like a radio show.
Yeah, like Busted Open.
And he would do a thing where like people would call in, and for them it would be morning, but he would say, don't come in here saying good morning, because people listen to it at all times of the day. And He had Mike Johnson from PW Insider. Do you know who that is?
I do.
And Mike Johnson would come on, and his thing he would come up with. He would come on and he would say, "Good moment." He'd say, "Okay, a good moment, everybody." And then I had Mike Johnson on Wrestle Rock when we were doing Wrestle Rock, and I started it out by going, "Hey, good moment, Mike," and he was like, "Oh, you okay? We're gonna know each other here." All right.
Yeah. It's the best way to like bring on like somebody who is like a pseudo celebrity or a celebrity or something, like,
or somebody who's just
let them know that you love them.
To you. Like I don't know. I don't see, I kind of don't see like Z-list, D-list people as like celebrity people. Like I don't see like, I see celebrity and I think like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, like Jennifer Aniston, like Leonardo DiCaprio is like celebrity.
Right.
I like somehow like podcasters and comedians, I don't see as celebrities.
You don't see Kevin Hart as a celebrity?
No, not at all. No, he's just a comic. Like I don't. I mean, not just a comic, not minimalizing comedians, but I'm saying like.
So what about okay? So do you see The Rock as a celebrity?
I mean, he's one of the boys, dude. I mean, to me, he's one. I mean, I still like mark out for him because like he brought me a lot of entertainment as a kid and inspired me to want to be a wrestler, probably. But I mean,
do you see any wrestler as a celebrity?
Roddy Piper, maybe.
I came to do two things: chew bubble gum and kick ass. And I'm
all out of penis. I mean,
I'm all out of ass.
I really think Roddy Piper was the first real wrestler to jump from wrestling to entertainment, and he opened the door for Cowboy Bob Orton in Roadhouse. So those are the two guys that made the jump and made it possible. And then we got nothing but shit from Hulk Hogan.
Is that our second Roadhouse reference in this fucking episode?
Can I make a third Roadhouse reference real quick?
Yes.
I've never seen Roadhouse.
Oh my God, you have to. It is a shit show of a movie. It is not great. It was back in the day, but it's a fun movie.
I know. Isn't Terry Funk in it too?
Yes, Terry Funk. I forgot Terry Funk was in it. It's Terry Funk and Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton are in it.
Oh man!
And they play bouncers.
You know what we should do? We should record a watch along.
Let's do that. Let's absolutely do a
recording. I think it's free on Prime right now.
Yeah, I'm sure one of us has it available.
If not, I will fucking buy it because it is that good of. It's not going to be that good of a shitty movie. It's like it's a dirty pleasure movie at this point. Like Hackers from the 90s with the Matthew Lillard, Angelina Jolie.
Mark Anthony's in that movie.
Yep, Mark Anthony and so many fucking people are in that goddamn movie.
That was the main character is Angelina Jolie's first husband. Dude, my nickname in high school that I gave myself was Dade because of his name.
You gave yourself a nickname?
Yeah, you give yourself a nickname. Sure is the worst way to get a nickname.
When you're a Puerto Rican from the Bronx who likes fucking techno and metal, you gotta fucking figure shit out. It's all on your own. It's no holds barred.
That's a fucking word. I love you so much. I love you so much. God, that's so cringy and fucking amazing at the same time.
How do you start it? Do you just say like, my name's Rene. Everyone calls me this. Like,
no, it's just love them, Dade.
Like, oh, my friends call me Dade.
Dude, you should have fucking had Dade as your fucking Xbox name. And
I did. I did.
Make Dade great again. Great Dade.
Like mine's always been Web Slinger.
Dade
County. Is my last name.
I owe them so much. The gratitude from Dade County. Best county ever. They voted for me 2 times. Each citizen. Great people. Love them. Love Dade County. Dade is the best.
Yeah. So, like I said, Web Slinger, my last name, and I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. So it just fucking came. And I did not give myself that nickname. I did get it from my dad, but it still works. And then all my friends call me it for a long time as well.
I spent a lot of time in Florida as a kid. My grandma retired down there, so like I actually liked Florida a lot better when I was a kid. But now, as I'm an adult, I never want to go back to Florida ever.
Cory Kastle, where did you get your origin of your name? I want to hear this. I
never had a nickname. My shoot name, my born name is James.
Yep.
But Cory Kastle came from. I was looking at I think, dude, this is a crazy long ago. So, you remember when like the Backstreet Boys and like NSYNC were big things?
Of course, we're all the same age. Yeah,
boy bands were like the craze. So, me and my friend Scott came up with this gimmick. Like we were going to act like
Backstreet's back. All right.
You know that song creeps me out now thinking about it because like those were teenage boys and they had the lyric "Am I sexual?" And like
yeah,
like this song is teenage boys saying "Am I sexual?" and like grandmothers are singing along. Like how traumatizing do you think that must be for a kid to be like I sang along "Am I sexual?" with my grandma? Like that's got to be a traumatic memory.
Like
to some young teenage boys singing "Am I sexual?"
Right. So then it didn't because
worse
like
than Cardi B.
You wanted to have like a fucking reference to Calvin Klein too, right?
Yeah. So when me and Scott were trying to come up with names, and I remember I was at his house. We were in his office, and he had a Wizard magazine on his coffee table, and we had just watched the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
I used to love my Wizard magazine.
The worst Punisher.
We had just watched it, and Scott had that Wizard magazine on the table in his office, and he said, "You should use Castle like the Punisher."
Castle, yeah.
And then I was like, I like that. And then I started thinking about the movie, the Dolph Lundgren movie, and I loved how people would talk about him when he wasn't there yet, kind of stuff. Like, oh, did you tell Castle? Nah, that guy's the worst. Like, and that kind of made me go, okay, like I could use that name. And I think I originally I wanted my wrestling name, what I wanted it to be was Rufus Castle, and have it be Rufus from George Carlin from Bill and Ted.
Okay.
So not to be what my original name was. And
Rufus?
Rufus Castle. I wanted, and we were gonna do a gimmick where we were like these like boy band kids, and we like put out a website and like put out fake music, and people like pre-ordered an album and made us wealthy, but then we never put an album out. We wanted that to be our gimmick.
That's fucking great. That's
and we were gonna call ourselves the Abercrombie Boys.
Yeah, total early 90s, early 2000, early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Fucking amazing.
And then fast forward a few years, I was actually debuting, I was actually going to debut in CZW and have my first match, and I was like, and I had just been watching a lot of Zoolander. I had just been watching so much Zoolander. I loved Zoolander. I was a huge, and I wanted to do the Zoolander of wrestling. I wanted to do like that. I was a stupid male model, but in pro wrestling, like just like a kind of a comedy gimmick, but something that could kind of turn into like a real like thing, and like have every move be called like Magnum, Blue Steel, like, Gray, like a whole the centerfold, like that, all these names of stuff, and then I was like, well, I want to have a Castle. I'll spell it with a K, and then get a C name that goes with it, and have like CK, like Calvin Klein. Like I'm a model, idiot.
Yeah,
I'm a idiot. And you know, I definitely didn't really do a whole lot of the modeling gimmick. I mean, like they kind of sometimes Eric Gargiulo would kind of put it over on commentary a little bit here and there, but like sometimes I'd do moves and he would call them the Magnum and Blue Steel.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I did have a move. I used to do an unprettier and call it the Dealio.
Nice.
He had him with the Dealio.
I still say you have the best STO I have ever seen. That needs to be your finisher.
I recently did one that I was not a big fan of.
No.
Yeah, I think but sometimes it's like the heights are weird. Like people's heights are weird, and running ones I don't like doing. Like
okay,
I like to like hook it in and do it.
Almost like the not end of days. What's Baron Corbin's one that he does? What does he call that? His end of days is his finisher.
Black hole slam.
Something. It's something crazy like that. But it looks so fucking good all the time that even like an STO is a move you can do on anyone, right? And it should be used as a finisher, and I don't understand why no one does. It's just like a one-off move, or sometimes it's a signature move of a person, but it should be like fucking Sami Zayn's Blue Thunder Bomb should be his fucking finisher, because his is the best in the business right now. And he only wins matches with it like once every 6 months, and it's too good for it not to win a match.
It seems like the importance of moves has gone away, where it's like it's like got to be extra flashy to be your finisher move.
As long as it looks fucking brutal. Like the STO, like that, your STO that you did not that long ago, you sent me the video of it, and I was like, bro, I told you then, it needs to be your finisher, because it looks fucking brutal. And like anyone who is even just a casual fan, you look at that and you go, holy fuck, how that guy should not be getting up. And they shouldn't when you hit it that good. And it should be your finisher. And like you look at Cody's finisher, whatever, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Crossroads, the spinning.
Spinning but he does it. The only time he pins somebody with it is if he hits it 3 times in a row. Yeah, so now that's not even a finisher at this point. It's a fucking it's just a signature move. Like that move has no meaning whatsoever anymore, because he always does it 3 times in a row to put someone away. A finisher is like LA Knight's, I can't remember. Or like even Miz, the skull crushing finality. Yeah. And Dirty Deeds and all this other shit. Like those are good finishers because no one gets up from that. And that's what a finisher needs to be. I'm tired of people kicking out of everybody's finishers all the fucking time in wrestling. Like the one wing angel. No one's ever kicked out of that.
I mean, that's The sick bump. It's a sick bump. It's like you're getting your neck and head crunched. I don't want to take that move.
I fucking wouldn't either. I'd rather take the choke slam from Kane or a tombstone than that.
Yeah.
I know we alienated you a little bit there, Rene, but it is like one of those things.
I'm always talking. It's nice to shut the fuck up for a minute.
I do want to bring back crossface chicken wing like Bob Backlund.
Fuck yeah, dude. Bob Backlund was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Wait, wasn't Bob Backlund's? Oh
no, that's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, dog.
All right, never mind. All right,
with the 2x4 that never got used.
Look at that never got used. You were just doing to describe a 2x4. Do that one more time.
Yeah, but that's what he did all the time. Like when we were kids, yeah, he did the stupid walk with the 2x4, an American flag in one hand, and a 2x4.
Tough guy.
Oh, like
I got something right.
He was so fucking over.
Hey, see, I know things.
Dude.
I know wrestling. I know wrestles.
Yeah, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan, what was his fucking finisher move? Anybody remember?
He would pull a masking tape out of his trunks and he'd wrap his hand in the masking tape, and then he'd punch the guy with it. Do you remember that?
A super punch?
That was like when he was like on a heel-ish run. Like WCW it wasn't his main finisher move. It was a fucking running clothesline.
Right.
And there's only like one person right now that he's dead. Fucking Brody. That was his finisher move, was a clothesline from hell. And no one else does that. And it's another one of those that could be a fucking finisher move. And Okada. Right. And his
this is like a shorter clothesline, the Rainmaker. Right?
Yeah, the ripcord. It's the Rainmaker. He twirls them out, pulls them back in, and that's the Rainmaker. And that's the only one that does that. But it should be more popular. Fucking JBL's was the best in history. I don't know. I think that's wrestling has too many moves right now. Like Young Bucks, man. Like I love the Young Bucks.
I know.
But every match with the Young Bucks is just like a Ric Flair match. You know exactly what's going to happen. Every move
move they know how to do. You've seen one of their matches, you've seen them all. They do everything they like to do in every match.
There's no drama at all in their matches whatsoever anymore. And I do you know how big of a fan I was? Because I defended them so much to you. But now I'm at that point where fuck, all right. Yeah, Cory was right. I don't even watch their matches anymore. They're not fun. Even if it's versus Aussie Open and all these other fucking great tag teams, it's so dumb. But I do love Penta and Phoenix still. I love them more in their singles run than when they were tagging. I don't like the trios championship stuff at all. I think that's a dumb fucking championship to have.
Nobody needs it.
I hate WWE that they have. I know, dude. I'm sorry. This is the last thing. Their tag team champions are still tied together, and they didn't break them off like they need to, like they did. I
don't think they should break them off. I think it should be just one.
You want them to still be
set of titles. I think it should just be one set of titles that is the united, unified, like they did with Roman's belt.
Yeah, but Seth Rollins is now has a championship, world championship as well. I think they need to go back to having SmackDown all their champions and go back to Raw and have all their champions. I'm tired of having the tag team being smashed in between, because WWE has so many great fucking tag teams right now. They have more tag teams that are great compared to all of their singles wrestlers, in my opinion. So, like, tag team wrestling in WWE could be way better than what it is, in my opinion. I like tag teams. Like, that's my favorite part of wrestling.
Am I doing the same thing that my eyebrow person up here is doing?
Close. Close. But all right, enough wrestle talk. So Rene doesn't fall asleep on us. I'm sorry. That's how it always goes, man.
So I know you guys on Perfectly Misfit always talk about like what you've been watching and what you've been listening to. Would you want to turn this into your podcast just for a moment to talk about that sort of thing?
Yeah, no problem. The last Bad Friends podcast was fucking amazing. I was laughing hysterically at that. Doogie again was just fucking phenomenal. When 2 weeks ago, when Will Sasso won the championship, like at a point, like I legit thought like he was crying, like legit, like he is. I don't know if you know this, but he is a professional actor by trade. He actually had me, and I was like, I got emotional for it as well because he wanted it so fucking bad, and he finally got the championship. And then it wasn't until this past week's episode when he did the same fucking crying shit at it that I was like, God damn it, I got worked. But it was good. It was fucking great. It was another great episode. There's only been like one episode of Doozy that was just like, in my opinion, that's the Hulk Hogan Goku episode. I fucking hate Dragon Ball. I hate anime, all right, and I hate Dragon Ball Z on top of it. So it was
anime gives me a headache. Like somehow I have a headache just from thinking about anime.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
I had like a big brother who showed me like old school anime, which was like probably around 10 years or so before Dragon Ball Z ever came around. So that was the anime I grew up with. I don't like Dragon Ball Z either. And like, I think there's, like the best anime I liked came out in like the 90s. So it wasn't like this new One Piece or freaking Pikachu or what was that, Pokemon? I mean,
yeah,
damn, that's how old I am. what are that damn with that Pikachu bullshit? Get on.
Hey, you guys ever heard of Ronin Warriors? It was an anime cartoon. On like it showed early in the morning on Fox when I was a kid. I'm in Michigan, so like they show different shows on different. Like technically, if you really want to think about it, like the first fucking Transformers and G.I. Joe were almost anime-ish cartoons. And I love those. And Ronin Warriors was basically like the same thing, but they were samurais. And it was fucking cool to me. But that was it. Spawn, the early 90s, Spawn
HBO,
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was technically, like, it's technically anime. But other than that shit, like, fuck anime. Fuck 'em. I can't watch any of that now. I can watch Spawn now. It's still good, but G.I. Joe now.
You guys ever see, what about Akira?
No.
You guys never saw Akira?
I never even heard of it.
It's a movie. Oh,
I see people wearing the T-shirt.
What about Vampire Hunter D?
I'm not interested at all.
Ninja Scrolls? No, none of that shit.
Isn't that a video game?
I perform at like anime conventions, and I just did J1 Con in Atlantic City on Sunday, and they had booths set up with all anime stuff and like anime artists and voice actors and stuff from anime, and I don't care. Like
fuck no, dude. I'm the same way.
Anyway. Like
I will go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't care about wrestling, so you know what? Fuck you guys.
They did make a couple of Marvel animes that I did watch because I'm such a fucking Marvel fan. They did an X-Men one, and a Wolverine spinoff of that, and I watched that. But you know, whatever.
Hey guys, it's getting about that time that I've got to start wrapping it up.
Real nice. Well, because I don't want to fucking talk about wrestling. And I want to talk more about anime. All of a sudden, oh, now the show's over. Oh, I see how it is. Okay, that's cool. Because I'm black, right?
that was I just didn't want to say that part, but that's the underscore of the whole last thing you said.
All along, you just worry about me getting your daughter pregnant.
He doesn't wear condoms. That's what he's saying.
Well, I don't have a daughter.
Can you say syphilis?
I used to have this joke where I talked about how I was at Target and I was trying to get a new set of sheets, and they had these abbreviations on the aisle, and they abbreviated standard with the letters STD, and it said like on the shelf it said like standard STD sheets, right? And I was like, STD sheets, is that like buying jeans with the holes already in them? I'm getting STDs on these sheets. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way.
Hey, Cory.
Nice.
Cory, what do you call it when you get invited to the local Jewish center to do a stand-up set and you do really well?
Do you want me to try to guess? Or do you want to hit the punch?
It's called a Holocaust.
Oh.
Oh, anti-Semitism. Yay. No, I'm just kidding.
That type of humor is going to Holocaust you. Some.
Hey-oh. Hey-oh.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes you make those kinds of jokes and they swastik with you.
Whoa, hey-oh. See what he did there?
Have you been to any comedy shows lately? Like I went to Mark Norman like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was fucking amazing. But like, who's somebody you wouldn't pay to go see recently?
Dang, I can't remember. The one thing that's like popping out to me is like I saw Pete Holmes, like 2019 or 20. I don't remember.
That's not that long ago. It's still good.
Yeah,
it works. And Pete Holmes is your favorite comic as well.
He's up there.
I've been listening. I started listening to his podcast because of you.
Dan, did I ever show you the Pete Holmes Street Fighter red tape videos?
I don't think so.
Where he basically shows what it's like to be human resources for the organization that organizes against the Street Fighter tournament.
No, it's like, I know Pete Holmes from Batman.
Him like firing people.
Yeah, it's like having like Vega, but like in the HR department, like at a desk. He's like, "Oh, I want to have my claws." And it's like the dude from Silicon Valley playing Vega. I'm oh man, I can't believe you've never seen these.
No. I've only seen the Batman stuff that he did, and I fucking love it.
Batmans are fucking awesome, but
that's the best.
The red tape for fucking Street Fighters is unmatched.
The comedian who plays Commissioner Gordon on those Batman sketches has been on my podcast before.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, and he should be joining me again soon.
Nice.
So very cool.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but we had somebody who opened for Metallica on our.
Ooh. I listened to that while it was happening.
And then you had
I was watching it live. So we're gonna do speed round here. We're gonna do speed round audio time capsule. Speed round Jerry Springer's final thoughts. We'll start with Dan.
Okay. Final thoughts. Well, fucking Cory Kastle, it was great being on your podcast, like it always is. And this is a time capsule, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, Bryce, Zayden, I love you guys. I am so proud of you, whatever the fuck you've done in your life so far, and wherever you are, and whenever you're watching this, just know Dad loves you. You guys are great.
Thank you. Rene?
I don't know. As a time capsule, Rene, I hope you're doing better than you're doing now. And I hope, Cory, you're doing better than you're doing now.
Oh, man.
And Dan, I hope you're doing better than you're doing now. And what do we always say at the end of our podcast? I love you.
Tell someone you love them.
No, I love you both. So,
I love you guys. Thank you so
I'm
much.
not going to force it on to everybody today, but yeah, we do like to ask people to tell somebody you love them, because it's kind of
tell everybody
easy.
who you love that you love them.
Yeah, easy. Do it.
That used to be like the intro to Wrestle Rock. Would be me saying, "Tell the people that you love them," and then Mark Kalbacher calling me a gosh dang hippie.
I used to tell people when I was bartending here down in Denver, be safe, have fun.
Be fun.
I believe that was from you, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't pick it up. Wasn't the first person to ever say be fun, have safe.
Okay.
But it was something I when my brother was living here in this house, he would go out to do Ubers. Every time he would go out, I would say be fun, have safe. And then I decided that I was going to start incorporating that into the show.
It's fun to throw people off when they're cashing out their tabs. They're like, wait, what did you say? I'm like, I don't know.
He really mixed that up. He's really knucking futs, this guy. Hey, Dan.
Yes, sir.
In your very best Alf impression.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you just say, hey, Willie?
Hey, Willie. I'm so bad at impressions. It's not even funny. Like, whoa. That's a transition phase so that we could get to Rene.
I'm gonna throw this real quick, and then I'll get to Renee's hey Willie. So the price of everything has gone up. The gas station where I used to stop and get the free air to pump my tires, now they're charging you. Inflation, dude.
Fucking dad joke. Hey.
Oh God. I feel like I just been dudesied.
You've been dudesied.
Hey Willie.
That's the best. It's so good. Let's get together, guys, and watch Roadhouse. Let's do a time. Do a watch along of Roadhouse. You do it on Twitch.
After Dan and I curse some zombies, we might be down for that later today.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be home from work probably around midnight or something.
No. You're Eastern Standard Time. I get up at 5 in the morning. No, I will not be on. But maybe Wednesday.
I'll be awake at 10.
Well, I might be home around 9 or something. So 9.
Oh, okay.
If I'm home whenever I'm home, I'll text you guys.
All right, sounds good. That'll be fun.
Sweet.
I appreciate you guys. If this is your first time ever checking out Evolving with Cory Kastle, if you're a fan of Perfectly Misfit and you've come over and this is your first time checking out this show, go through the archives. There's 311 other episodes of the show. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow me on wherever you find your podcasts.
We have 313 episodes.
If you exist, let me know you exist. You have 313 episodes?
No. But hey, subscribe because it means nothing to you, but everything to us. It helps all of us with the algorithms and everything. Please subscribe. We would appreciate it.
Altruistic albatross.
Everybody in your best alpha impression. Be fun, have safe, keep evolving. All at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Be fun.
Be fun.
Happy Hanukkah.
Keep evolving.
Keep evolving. There we go.
I'm Mark Normand.
Comedy.
Comedy. Show's over.